Yearly NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up over there at Underdog Fantasy, promo code NBA SGPN, and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cashback rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet and use promo code SGPN. Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the West, none of the guys. Me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Oh yeah, we got to figure that sweep thing out, man. Hold on, I'm gonna work on that. Scott Studio Reichel there. I had a great day yesterday. We got Scott here with me. Happy Jimmy Day to all those who celebrate, all those who are or are not celebrating. You probably might be celebrating. We'll see. Scott Studio Reichel here. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beam me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, so can't complain. I know you ended up sweeping. I ended up hitting the lock. Did lose the dog, though. For the lock at the Celtics, -3.5, and that got there easily as the Kings can't guard the three-point line. And I think Boston hit like 19 threes in that game as they won the game easily. For the dog, though, Anthony Davis came back, and then I guess that was the exact spark Dallas needed because they were expected to win by me. The problem was they won by too many points. So the Nets couldn't really hang in there, as I did have the Mavericks 1-10. But hit the lock, could be worse. I know you had the over in the Bulls game, and I know that you had the Magic money line, and those both got there. But yeah, can't complain. Orlando looked good in that second half, and Josh Giddey and Kobe White are one of the most fun duos we have right now in the league. So yeah, Giddey and Kobe White are going absolutely crazy right now, and I feel like they are really fun to watch.
And it's like, man, I have no idea how we got here. But I mean, I guess that's what when you're in the East and you're still competitive in the playoffs. I mean, NBA players are going to go out there and hoop. The amount of people that are just going crazy this season that like, and I mean, I get it. Kobe White's always been really good, and Josh Giddey, we've seen it there. But what's going on right now is absurd. It's absurd. This is absurd, and it's going on in Chicago.
What did Kobe White have again? He had 37.
I wish they would win just a little bit more games so JT could feel like a little bit better about the year. And all of our Chicago Bulls fans, I wish they would win just a little bit more games so they could feel better. Because honestly, is this getting out of the play-in? Are they getting out of the play-in?
No, they're automatically in the play-in.
No, but I'm saying, are they getting out of the play-in? Like when they play in the play-in, are they getting out?
I'll put it this way: anything's possible for those four teams in it because there are a couple of really bad teams in there. I mean, Miami, I don't think is any good. Atlanta's played better lately. Orlando's played better lately. So you have seen a couple of the play-in teams look sharper besides Miami. So I guess anything's possible when you have four bad teams that are together. But for the most part, it's possible. And the Bulls look pretty good right now. And I know that Joker didn't play yesterday. I know he liked the Bulls in general yesterday, and they ended up winning outright. But I think that it would not be the most shocking thing in the world. I mean, would you? There are a lot of bad teams in that plan.
No, I wouldn't. It really wouldn't. This is not where I thought how the season started. The Bulls being a legit, I'm about to make it to the playoffs, is not where I had things at.
Well, Kobe White's having that leap that he had last year when Levine was injured. Because they got rid of him, and Kobe White said, all right, it's my time to take a bunch of shots. And it's been working out quite well. And Giddey is just a very good point guard to have on your team. Because Giddey is going to be a very solid overall high IQ basketball player that can find openings and defenses and get other guys in positions to succeed. And I don't want to say that's because Alonzo got hurt, but it does feel like since they traded Levine and since Alonzo got injured, they've been forced to give more minutes to these two guys, and they found a really nice duo in the process. Nice. Okay, we're back. We're so back. We are so back. Okay,
We're
great.
back.
We're back. All right.
All right, man. Yeah. Very, very, very good stuff here. Yeah, shout out to the Chicago Bulls and shout out to our Bulls fan, relative Bulls fans here is in the chat that are always hanging out with us. All right. Jimmy Day, not gonna lie. I can't wait to get to that game, Scott, because I was up at 2:00 in the morning firing off random Jimmy revenge game bets. And I
Okay.
have a good amount of them out there. We'll share a little bit later. A nice little tease for the rest of the episode here. All right. Looking for all of our picks and podcasts, head over to the SGPN app. You can get everything there, picks, podcasts, all of that in one place. Sometimes we even run some contests out of there, so make sure you check it out over there in the SGPN app. All right, Scott, let's get through this 8-game slate here in the NBA. We've got, no, that's college basketball. All right. Orlando Magic are on the road going to play the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets are catching 5.5 at home. 212.5 is the total here. Injury report for these two teams. And we've got, let's see here. So Trevelyan Queen is questionable for this game. We've got Cole Anthony, who is doubtful for this game. And then we have Josh Okogie, who is questionable for the Hornets here. All right. Orlando cash for me outright. Moneyline dog yesterday against the Lakers. Now they go on the road. Well, that was at home. Now they go on the road to Charlotte to play the Hornets here. What are you doing? Hornets catching 5.5.
Yeah, so it was 4.5 last night. I actually grabbed it for Orlando. I think I am going to go with the Magic in this one. They're on a back-to-back. They are 6-5 ATS on back-to-back, so they've been fine in this situation before. The issue is you're looking at Orlando, of course, being much better at home and on the road, but they played better lately. They've won 3 of their last 4, beat the Lakers, beat the Cavs on the road, which is a great win there. You're looking at the Hornets, and even though right now they're listed at full strength, will they sit people randomly? They might. They might. The Hornets don't give a damn. They might try to sit people at the last second, but Charlotte is in full tank mode because no matter who plays, recently they've gotten run out of the building. In fact, if you want to look at their last couple of games, when they lose handily. They don't have many close games that are really, I'd say, on the schedule, at least recently. The Hornets, for reference, have lost 4 of their last 5. All 4 losses were by at least 17 points. They are getting blown out regularly, and I guarantee you the front office is thrilled about it. So give me Orlando. Orlando, even though Atlanta's playing pretty well right now, believe it or not, Orlando's only 1.5 back of first place in the division. That's how bad the division is. But Orlando can still win the division. I think that there is some motivation there for that team. The Hornets can't wait for the season to end at this point. If I told you at 3 o'clock LaMelo's questionable, nobody would be shocked. Because the Hornets have been doing this random stuff all, I'd say, month long. I think you're looking at Orlando being in a good spot. They've won each of the first 3 meetings this season by at least 11 points. I think it's a bad matchup. Orlando wants to be playing basketball, and they want to showcase some form of defensive identity. The Hornets do none of that. And I think they just want the season to be over already. So give me the Magic in a more important game for them. I think Charlotte rolls over. Maybe you're looking at a decent offensive output by LaMelo and Bridges, and that's how you find a way to win. But is there a min restriction on these guys? I don't know. I know the Hornets don't want to win right now. So I'll take Orlando, who at least have a shot to win the division. I think they care more. And when you won the first 3 meetings by 11-plus points, I think you're just a bad matchup. So give me Orlando minus 5.5.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is Charlotte was not a horrible defensive team all year. They actually are a pretty solid defensive team over the course of the entire season, and different spurts, they were actually a really good defensive team. So the fact that they're not doing anything right now on the defensive side of the ball kind of tells me they're not a team that you want to bet on, that they, lost motivation here. I agree with all those points you make. Very, very elegant layout of why we should be on the Magic, Scott. Just wanted to give you kudos there. Very elegant layout there.
Since you mentioned defense, I'll bring it up. The Hornets have allowed at least 122 in 6 of their last 7. They gave up 122 to the Heat. The Heat can't score against anybody. Yeah. 122 to Miami. Like, this team isn't even coming close to defense at this point.
Yeah.
And Orlando looks, I don't want to say like their old selves again, but they don't look that bad. At least Orlando had a couple of months there where they looked really bad. They're starting to look, like they're trying to rev it up a little bit for the playoffs or the play-in. So
this feels like pretty chalky because pretty much everybody's probably going to be on Orlando, but why not?
I mean, the Hornets, once again, if you lose 4 of your last 5 by 17 plus points, I'm just not going to take you serious.
Hornets 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. Orlando -5.5. You don't get a whole bunch though. You're only laying 5.5, but it is a pretty chalky play. Everybody's on Orlando. All right. No thoughts on the total. Probably over, or at least Orlando team total over, because Charlotte can't defend anything.
Yeah, I'm with you.
San Antonio Spurs on the road going to play the Detroit Pistons. Pistons laying 10 here. 233 is the total injury report. And we have Stephon Castle is questionable with the knee injury. Then we got Cade Cunningham, who is questionable with the calf. Whoa, hiccup there. Cade Cunningham questionable with the calf. We got Tim Hardaway Jr. questionable with an ankle. And yeah. I mean, they did just lose to Dallas recently, but they bounced back after that. Kind of. I don't know.
If we're assuming Castle doesn't play, do you actually like the Spurs' options besides Vassell to put the ball in the basket?
Nope.
That's kind of my point. I feel like Cade might play, but
they put up 120 on the Knicks, 128 on the 76ers, 123 on Toronto. And, I mean, Detroit hasn't been good. The last 3 games for Detroit. 3-point win over Miami.
Yep.
A 6-point loss to Dallas. And then a 6-point win to New Orleans. It's not
to be fair, Cade did not play in that New Orleans game, but yes.
Okay.
But still, you're right. I mean, the Spurs have been competitive recently.
I feel like I'm gonna regret laying 10 with Detroit. Yeah, because really, who is?
I think you might have talked me into it. I'll go with the Spurs plus the points.
Yeah,
it does feel like a lot for a Pistons team, whether Cade plays or not. He's not even guaranteed to play. At least the Spurs are showing some pride. There was that game like a couple weeks ago where they gave up 140 something to Charlotte. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of those end of the season runs by a team. No, they've actually been pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I feel like looking at the Spurs' recent results here, yes, there's against some bad teams. They killed Toronto in Toronto, beat Philly, beat the Knicks by 15. Pistons, though, you're right. I mean, they've been winning games, but they have not exactly been as, I'd say, dominant as they were over the previous month. So I think 9.5 is actually a lot. I don't mind the Spurs plus the points.
Yeah. I think I'm on Spurs, too. I don't like it. I'm
not going to bet it, but I think
don't bet that. Don't bet that. All right. But I do no, I can't even get there on a total because the Spurs really could, like, if Stephon Castle is out and they have no offense, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't even want a part of the total. I'm good.
Yeah, it'd be over a pass for me, but I have to see if Castle and Cade play.
All right. March Madness is still going on, and we've got DraftKings Sportsbook with a great offer for new customers. Bet $5 and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. You can go over there in DraftKings Sportsbook. I told you, Scott, I was up there late last night on DraftKings, just firing off on Jimmy Butler bets. And I'll share one. Which one do I want to? I mean, I'm going to share all of them by the time the show starts. But let's go with the easy one right now. DraftKings Sportsbook. I do have a little sprinkle on Jimmy Butler triple-double today.
Okay. What was the price you got on that?
That was 16-1. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure. Yep, 16-1. So 16-1 there. Put a little sprinkle there. But there's plenty of ways to get creative and get better odds than 16-1. And I have a number of things that I'm ready to talk about today. Happy Jimmy Day for all those who celebrate. Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That is code SGP to get for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, your home for AI picks and props. Rhythm is already off to a great start, helping dominate March Madness with their custom betting models that you can build, or you can use Rhythm models. It doesn't really matter. You can do all of that over there. Sign up today over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, and you can get a 7-day free trial. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right. Next game up. We're not at Jimmy Day yet. Almost there. Dallas Mavericks on the road. Going to play the New York Knicks. Knicks are laying 10. 224.5 is the total. Injury report here. And we have for the Mavericks. They are on the second leg of a back-to-back. Caleb Martin didn't play yesterday. Anthony Davis did. I can go ahead and, matter of fact, Scott, I think I would like to break some news for the people here. Let me see. Let's break some news. No shot Anthony Davis plays on the second leg of a back-to-back today. No shot. Call it reporting from me. I am the source. Anthony Davis is not playing basketball today. No way.
For reference, he played 27 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing today. They are not playing him on a back-to-back. No way. So get that out your head right now. Mitchell Robinson is a questionable with an ankle injury. Brunson is still out. McBride is out as well. All right. So we have the Mavericks on the second leg of a back-to-back. Overs have been amazing for the Mavericks in this spot. 10-1 to the over on the second leg of a back-to-back this season. 11-0 to the over to their team total over. So that's your free square for today. Just free square those. Opponent's team total over is 8-3, by the way. So you can free square Knicks team total over as well. But here we are. Do the Knicks play with their food?
I'm going to say yes in this one. I understand if you want to take the Knicks because the Mavericks without AD have been really bad. It's kind of like the Pistons game we talked about. It's a lot of points for a team that's really not playing great basketball right now. The Knicks looked good in their last game as they ended up taking on the Wizards. I mean, we would look good against the Wizards. That doesn't mean anything. They played the Hornets. They lost by 17. Played the Spurs, lost by 15. Both those were on the road. But they played Miami. They trailed at half. Then they won the game by 21. And they lost to the Warriors.
Shout out to Miami.
Yeah, shout out to Miami. But still, the point is, I'm not backing a Knicks team laying 10.5 with Cam Payne as their starting point guard. That's not going to happen. Like I feel like at the end of the day, when you're missing that much point guard depth, I don't really want to lay that amount of points. And you could argue Josh Hart goes crazy. Maybe Cat has a monster game. Sure. 10.5, though, feels pretty large to me. Like, I think the Knicks win the game, but do I think it's going to be close? Closer than this? 10.5 with no point guard's kind of wild. I think Cam Payne, we know, can be a very up and down player. That's why he's been on so many different teams over the years. You mentioned before this game should be high scoring. I agree. I don't mind the over. But the Knicks have not really looked the part recently of a 10.5 point favorite. So I'll go with the Mavericks. Plus points.
Yeah, my issue for the Knicks here is when it gets the time to initiating offense, they're going to literally do probably two things. Either give Cat the ball. No, I lied. Three things. They're either going to give Cat the ball. It's going to be some type of two-man between Payne and Bridges. They have that connection, and they really, really want Bridges to be more aggressive. And three is nothing. Like, they're going to actually do nothing, and they'll probably drain a bunch of clock and then probably hoist up a bad shot or take advantage of some bad lapse in defense that the Mavericks are going to give them. But with that being said, the Mavericks are going over their team total today. I have to feel good about the Mavericks plus the points. I can't trust the Knicks to consistently get enough offense. I think that they're going to score here today, but not enough where they're covering 10. No, I'm good on that.
All
I'm with you. We're on the maps. All right. Now it's time for Jimmy Day. The Golden State Warriors are on the road going to play the Miami Heats in Miami. Warriors are laying 5.5. 216.5 is the total. Injury report here, and we got Steph is questionable, and Duncan Robinson is questionable with the back injury, and Jovic is out. All right. Dude. He's such a petty individual. He's so petty. The only thing that could ruin this, no, because I've actually built contingencies for if Eric Spoelstra has decided that he's not gonna let Jimmy go off today. I have built contingencies around that as well. Oh man, I would love Scott. I would love nothing more than to be all in on Jimmy today and still love the Miami Heat as a dog play as we should. But gosh, they can't close games for anything.
No, not at all.
The second half is just like you have to. Okay, Miami first half, I can buy that, and I think I said that last one of those episodes I was with Lonte last week. I can buy myself into Miami first half as a dog. They might even be leading. Dude, but the second half, there's no way I can have a second half bet on Miami right
It's
now.
the fourth quarter. They just punt every game.
It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad, man. No way. So, yes, I'm still on Miami as a dog, but I'm on Miami as a dog in the first half, plus 3.5 in the first half. I think that they're going to come out with energy, and I think they're going to have this as a close game, probably be in the lead at the half. But, dude, Jimmy Butler's going off in the second half.
Yeah, I think that the Warriors are going to win the game. The question is by how much, because Steph may or may not play. He had that full court pregame shot, so I'm assuming that he'll be fine for this one. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to stay out of the play-in, so there is some incentive for the Warriors. There's really no incentive for Miami because the Eastern Conference is so bad at the bottom that they're going to be a play-in team no matter what.
Yep.
So I think Golden State wins this game and probably covers, because I think that it might be one of those games where Jimmy's going to be so into it that it might result in like Draymond and Steph being into it too, where they kind of want to help their guy get one back on his old team, even though Miami gave him everything that he wanted and sent him to the place that he wanted to go to.
Pay me.
Just saying,
me. We get it's back. It's back.
It's kind of a weird revenge game situation because Butler got suspended for being a distraction, which he clearly was, and then Miami shipped him to Golden State because he rejected going to other places. So it's a revenge game.
And that's why I like Miami first half. I'm sorry, but that's why I like Miami first half, because they're going to get up for this game. Like, there's no way they're just going to let them run wild. Is Jimmy probably going to do something Jimmy like in this game? More than likely. He's extremely petty.
Yeah,
but I don't think Miami's going to just sit there and let them walk all over them the entire game. I can at least back them the first.
Well, I was going to say the whole point that Jimmy's going to be into, which he will be, is because he's petty. I don't really know what Miami did wrong at the end result. They traded him where he wanted to go.
It doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just saying. It's like he got what he wanted.
It doesn't matter.
Mad. It's like, all right.
No,
cool.
he's still mad.
I think Golden State wins. I like the under in this game. I think it's going to be a physical grind for the entire game because I don't really trust Miami to score, especially in the second half. I think Miami's defense, if they're going to win this game, they have to hold Golden State to like 108 in this game because I don't trust Miami's offense to score enough to keep the game close. So I like the under in this game. I think it will be a playoff type atmosphere for better or worse. If Golden State routs them, then Miami might score in the 80s and the game goes under anyway. But I'll go with the under as my, I'd say, favorite play for this one or side or total. I would go with Golden State, but I do think Miami's offense we know is underwhelming. We know Miami's defense can be fine. I like the under in this game.
All right. Miami first half, Golden State money line. I do like the underplay as well. All right, let's rattle off some Jimmy bets here. So, I have talked myself into there's a world where Jimmy just decides to say, fuck everything, I'm getting a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Jimmy 30 plus and a money line win up here. Of course, I told you about triple double.
What was that price at? The 30 in the win.
30 in the win, 8-1.
Okay.
I also have contingencies here in case they don't let Jimmy score Or they say you can score, but you're only going to score how we choose to let you score, and that means he shoots a bunch of threes.
Okay.
And I just want to throw out there, he might have been prepping for this because for some reason last game Jimmy Butler took 7 threes. He only hit 1, unfortunately, but he took 7. He might have been practicing getting ready for the game, so they might be going in today.
Well, it's a volume thing, so that's fine.
2 plus 3s was plus 230.
Okay.
3 plus. Oh man, Scott. 3 plus. I mean 3 plus. You're going back to Vegas, Scott.
Was that 10
he
to
is
1?
3. He is 3, and you're going back to Vegas.
Was that 9 to 1?
Let me see
10 to
let
1?
me get the updated number. Updated number on 3 plus 3s here is where'd he go? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's changed. It's 8 to 1 now.
8 to
It
1.
was 950. It was 950, but it's 8 to 1 now.
Okay.
So I will admit he has not hit 3 plus 3s in a game this season. But he did it twice last year.
Okay.
So
I mean, 7 attempts.
Oh, he took 7. Like, he's so ready for this game. And then I have contingencies of like 8 plus rebounds, 8 plus assists, and those are really high. Like when you get to like 10 plus rebounds, it's like close to 10 to 1 and stuff like that. So we have contingencies of all that built. And there's one more thing that I considered.
Steals?
Oh, dude, yes, I forgot. That wasn't even out last night. I gotta go get in on that. That's not what I was talking about. But yes, you're right. I have to go get down on steals. There might be a chance that he straps Tyler Hero today and makes a point. I didn't bet that one yet because I was concerned that Tyler Hero also has the revenge factor of, nah, you trying to play me, so he might go off as well. But Tyler Hero hasn't been good to his point spot recently, under an 11 of his last 15, 22.5. So keeping my eyes on that, but very much all the way in on Jimmy Butler having a great day today.
I think everybody is.
By the way, go over to the SGPN merch store and hop in on those Air Jordan Jimmy Butler shirts that we have hanging out there. Little shout out and plug to our merch store. We got some Air Jordan Jimmy Butler shirts.
I forgot we even had those shirts.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's such a talking point like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Sean and Ryan love Jimmy.
Yeah.
They were really, really big fans of Jimmy. And yeah, so we had to plug the shirts one more time for Jimmy Day. I might have to make a post and shout it out on the SGPN NBA Twitter channel. But yeah, I probably do have to get down on some Wiggins too. He did have like 40 the other day. He actually had it on the 23rd, and it kind of made me mad because if he had did that on February 23rd, that would have been the day that I bet his revenge game. So very, very annoyed that he did that a month later. All right, listen up talking about Jimmy Butler. Just know I'm firing off. If you have any other ideas on Jimmy Butler bets, please do not feel afraid to send them my way because I will probably bet them. All right. Now, before we get to the rest of the slate and everything else outside of Jimmy Day, we are talking about Underdog Fantasy because Underdog Pick'em, you can play any sport and win up to 100 times your entry at Underdog Fantasy. You can use it in NBA, you can use it in college basketball, you can use it in MLB, which is kicking off this week. Scott, I really need to figure out what 3 people, I only need 3. What 3 people in all of those NBA games are hitting home runs? I mean, in MLB games are hitting home runs.
I wasn't going to correct you, but you figured it out.
It's cool. It's all right.
All right.
That's it. I just need 3 people. It's like 1 million baseball players that are playing on Thursday. I just need 3.
Well, I was going to say, I know that Adam and I are also doing a prop show now for the MLB season. So we are going to do a prop show for opening day. So we're going to do Underdog lineup at the end of every episode.
All right, there we go. Shout out to the plug there. But don't use their promo code. Use our promo code, NBASGPN. Over there. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBASGPN. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for sports bettors. If you don't want to give your card or have it denied over there at the Sportsbook, DFS site, racetrack, all that, then you can get Edge Boost. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured, completely free, no credit checks. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. All right. let's see here. Next game on the docket. Whoa, I lost my list. All right, there we go. We've got the Atlanta Hawks going to play the Houston Rockets. Rockets are laying 8, 235.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have Trae Young is probable. Capella is out. And yeah, pretty much clean injury report for Houston. No, nothing else to report there. All right.
Houston was the hottest team in the league, and they lost to Denver with no players. So,
But if we add the part that they just suck against Denver, we are probably still okay here. Now, I'm not going to forget the game again. Well, never mind. The game against Chicago really isn't that bad when you think about it now. But I'm not going to forget about the game against the 76ers where they were down 21 points at half and then had to go to overtime and try to get that win at overtime.
that might be the best tanking performance of the entire season by a team.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Shout
really,
out to
really hard.
Grimes, who had 46 in the loss.
Up 21 at half, like in loss.
They were up 10
Really-
with like 50 seconds left, and they lost the game.
Yeah, really, really tough, man. Really, really tough stuff to do. I mean, what's the angle of taking Atlanta here?
I think I am going to take Atlanta here. I think 8.5 is just too many points. It might be a common theme that I think the favorites are kind of being too respected here. But Houston had a massive win streak, lost to Denver. There's two ways to go about it. Either one, they bounce back and they bury this team, or B, they kind of have a Cavs moment where they, won 9 in a row and they have a mental letdown for a day or two. But Atlanta's been good lately. I mean, you're looking at Atlanta beating 3 teams here, beat the Hornets by 32, beat the Warriors by 9. I'm pretty sure Curry did not play in that game. And ended up beating Philly by 13. So, yes, the competition's been weak, but do I really want to lay 8.5? Not really. I'm not really interested in it. I think that the Hornets the Rockets should win the game, but the Hawks have looked decent lately. I think that the Hawks can score points. I think that's why the total's so high for a Houston game. I don't mind the over, but I think I'll go with the Hawks plus the points. Now, if the Rockets cover, would I be shocked? No, because Houston's the better team, and they're at home. But 8.5, it might just be a common theme for me. I'm feeling some underdog love today. I'll go with the points here for Atlanta. Doesn't this line feel a bit high for an Atlanta team that's quietly been playing decent basketball lately?
Yeah, unfortunately. And Houston 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games, 0-3 as a home favorite in those 5 games. Fine.
I don't mind Houston 1-10 maybe, but like 8.5?
Yeah, I'd rather say Houston 1-10 than say plus 8.5, but yeah, whatever. Atlanta keeps it close. Over.
Yeah.
Houston's been really good to the over in the last 5 games, believe it or not. Wrong page. There we go. Last 5 games, 4-1. 4-1 to the over, 3-0 as a home favorite. So been really, really good. Hawks have been 4-1 to the over in 4 of their last 5 games as well. So yeah, over 235.5 is probably one of the better plays for that.
Each of Atlanta's last 4 games had at least 236.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff here, Scott. Next game up on the docket, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies on the road going to play the Utah Jazz. Memphis is laying 10.5, 240.5 is total. Let's see here. Injury report, we've got Lamar Stevens, doubtful. He joined the team and instantly started doing everything else they're doing. Yo, he's been on the injury report every single game he's been on the team. Like, all right, man. Ja Morant's out. Marvin Bagley is also on the team and doing the same thing. Out. Concussion. Jordan Clarkson is questionable with that foot injury. John Collins is out. Lauri Markkanen is out.
I don't know what Memphis is doing. Remember when they were actually like really good 2 months ago?
What's their record now?
I mean,
They're
the
still
record's fine.
40. They're still 43 and 28.
They're
Are you
43 and
serious?
28. But that's what I'm saying. Like the record
It
was
doesn't feel
insane
like
a couple
it.
months ago.
It doesn't feel like it.
No, they've been
This
terrible.
doesn't feel like a team with 43 wins right now.
I mean, if you're looking at their last couple of weeks here, they've lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Clippers, the Trailblazers, and the Kings, each by 10-plus points. Beat Miami because Miami stinks. Lost to Cleveland at home by 9. They won 4 in a row, but before that, they lost 4 in a row. So this
They're
team has
horrible.
been just underwhelming the last month.
Dog, they're horrible.
And it's annoying because I like this team, but they are just messing around too much.
I can't even begin to tell you what's wrong at this point, because everything that's wrong right now has been wrong the entire time, and they still got the 43 wins. So, like, what's different about it now?
Just saying though, like their sample of like the last couple of games here, if you want to go through it, that's 5, 9. Their last 14 games, they're below 500.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So they're just messing around, I guess. But I mean, we saw this with Cleveland though. Cleveland did lose 4 in a row, played Utah and won by 30. So Utah could just be the slump beater where they get you back on track because they're terrible. But I'm going to take the points. I can't lay 10.5 with no jaw with how this Memphis team's played. I just can't do it. You're looking at Memphis defensively the last couple games. 128 to the Clippers, 115 to Portland, 132 to the Kings, 133 to Cleveland. They actually played about a week ago. They played about a week ago against Utah. They won by 7 at home, give up 115 in that game. Memphis defensively is just horrible. Like, I can't back this team laying 10.5 on the road based on current form, losing 3 straight by 10-plus points. As much as I hate it, because this team's tanking, and they're fine for tanking, give me Utah plus the 10.5 at home.
Okay.
A lot of points to the struggling team.
Okay. I understand all of that. And I agree. We really, really cannot lay 10.5 with Memphis.
On the other hand, it's Utah.
Dude, as I was about to say, yeah, we got to do Utah plus 10.5, it made this disgusting pit in my stomach. Because 120 to 9, I mean, I get it. 120-91, Cleveland, you said it. Boston, Chicago, Minnesota.
Yep.
I guess those teams have pulses. And I guess that's the difference, is that those teams have a pulse right now. There is no pulse whatsoever in this Memphis team.
No, they're just messing around. But I do want to point out the Grizzlies are 3-0 this season against Utah. But Utah has lost 2 of those 3 by less than 8 points.
No, I was just about to say they kept the games close. I haven't gone back to make sure because I can't really remember off the top of my head if marketing or what frame of mind Utah was in those games. But if you were laying 10.5, you couldn't have been any good. Yeah, give me Utah plus points.
Like if Memphis wins by 15, good for them.
Yeah,
but at the same point, they've shown no reason to trust them.
To trust that they would win by 15.
No reason at all. So I can't do it.
Yeah. Memphis 1-10.
I know it's going to sound nuts, but if I told you a hypothetical world where Utah won this game outright,
nope,
you would not be as shocked as you probably should be.
I would be pissed at myself because I took Memphis 1-10 and not just Utah plus the points. So
correct. Am I saying Utah's going to win the game? No, but based on current form, it would not shock me if Memphis messed around and somehow fumbled an easy win.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in agreement with you there. All right, next game up. A revenge of a really good game. The Cleveland Cavaliers are on the road going to play the Portland Trailblazers. Cleveland's laying 6.5. 230 is the total. Played this game. What was that? A month ago?
It was about a month ago. They played on the 2nd, and Portland choked, and Cleveland won by 4. I know Mitchell did not play.
Oh, they gave them everything they could handle.
Yeah, I live bet Cleveland in that game in the fourth quarter.
You said Mitchell didn't play in that game?
Mitchell did not play.
Well, Mitchell's not playing in this game either. He's out on the injury report. So no Donovan Mitchell here today. No Jalen Tyson either for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And did you like that little transition I did there, Scott?
I did.
Banton is questionable for the for the Blazers with the sick report. There we go. First one of the day. Oh, it's just going to keep going for the rest of the year. Sick report for Banton. We've got Grant doubtful, Ayton out, Sissoko out, Time Lord out.
Time Lord, guy never plays. What a shame too. Guy's talented. He's just always hurt.
Yeah. All right, man.
I know Robert Williams is kind of like, I know it's Time Lord. He's kind of like Doctor Strange. There's like 1,000 outcomes, and he only plays in 2 of them.
Really like one, dude. And then DeAndre Ayton as well. Like, what happened to him?
He had snow in the driveway, and then he just stopped playing. But I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, do you want to lay 6.5 with Cleveland with no Mitchell? Because I actually like how Portland's kind of playing right now.
And I will say, I did take Darius Garland to go under his PRA last night because he hasn't been good with it, like, at all recently. The no Mitchell thing is kind of concerning for that. But Portland's been really good to the guards. Like, they've been really, really good to the guard position. And so if Darius Garland doesn't have a good day and you're just depending on Evan Mobley here to do primarily almost all the scoring, Blazers are going to keep up. They're going to hang around in this game. Give me
I think they can keep up anyway. They've been really good lately. They lost to Boston, but that happens. They beat Denver, beat Memphis, both by double digits. They've been good. Cleveland was awful, and they ended up beating Utah because, Utah stinks, but still. I think Portland's live to win this game.
In that Denver game, I think.
I think Portland's live to win this game. They should have won the first meeting.
Yeah.
I think Portland led by like 15 or 20 in that game too.
Oh, dude, it was they were up pretty big. They blew it.
Yeah, Jerome ended up having a great game. I know Hunter had a big game as well. But I think Portland's alive to win this.
I'm scared the 115 and 99 to Memphis recently is fool's gold. And Memphis just really sucks.
Could be.
But I'm with you. Yo, Lonte hates Portland. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Gotta go with Portland here. This Portland team is just fun to bet on, honestly. Because they're catching points any given night, and they keep winning.
I wish there was a world in the NBA where you can just use the best 8 records for play-ins instead of going by conference, and Portland just ended up in the play-in. Like they stole an Eastern Conference play-in spot.
Okay.
Because we have so many bad teams in the East that are fighting for a play-in spot. I would rather see Portland than almost every team in the Eastern Conference play-in, besides Chicago. Chicago's fun. Chicago's fun. Atlanta's fun.
Chicago doesn't.
But I'm asking you right now, if you could choose,
dude, if we get a Chicago Atlanta play-in, that's be the third one. I feel like we get a Chicago Atlanta play-in every single play.
Yeah, the game would land about 280, but still, would you rather see Miami or would you rather see Portland? As a fan, I'd rather see Portland. I think Portland's a fun team, but I think it's too little, too late because the Suns remembered how to play basketball. But you get what I'm saying, though. Portland's not going to make the playoffs, and we'll see if Chauncey comes back next year. This has been a pleasant surprise over the last couple of months. Portland has become a competent basketball team, which we've not seen in a long time. So props to Portland. They look like an actual NBA team.
Our tennis player retired?
Yeah. So my lock voided on the tennis.
All right.
That's a refund. Whatever.
It's okay. Still got the other guy. All right. Yeah. Definitely on Portland here today. Even though slightly concerned. They do not fold. They do fold against really good teams, but I don't care. Still on Portland. OKC on the road going to play the Sacramento Kings. OKC's laying 10, 232. I tell you, I can tell you the game script for this game right now. We got Chet Holmgren, who is questionable. We got J-Dub potentially coming back today. He is questionable with that hip injury. Dukas, Dang, and Ajay Mitchell all out. For the Kings, they played yesterday. Devin Carter and Malik Monk both didn't play because they were on the sick report. And Doug McDermott didn't play either, for what it's worth. So we'll see about all 3 of those guys today.
I mean, the only notable thing the Kings did yesterday was injure Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
That's basically all they did. I mean, they gave up 19 threes anyway. So
forgot to talk about that. I was so focused on Juju's injury. I forgot Jason Tatum. I was literally watching too, and I was like, oh man, dude, that looks bad.
We didn't even talk about the Juju injury, which is just depressing. But
oh man, I'm really, really sad about that.
It was even said, or because you knew immediately when she was like on the floor that it was over at that point. But the Tatum
And 'cause
one
she
looked
plays
rough.
through injury. She always plays through injury.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
like
there's some injuries you could tell, like based on reaction, like, oh, this is just not good, and you could tell
Yeah.
immediately that it was not good. But Tatum avoided serious injury. I think he sprained his ankle. It was a Zaza play.
Yep.
Basically what happened, but they ended up winning the game anyway because the Kings can't guard the 3-point line. The Thunder beat the Clippers, who are one of the hottest teams in the league. Great game, by the way. Very low scoring. Shea had a couple of big plays down the stretch. But they should kill this team, right?
Oh, dude, I think so. I think it's going to be. I mean, the going script is the Kings are competitive, and so they're not. And there's going to be one quarter, as you always say, that OKC is just going to take this game over. And you would have thought that the Kings bet was going to cash, and then after that quarter, it's going to be like, oh yeah, this bet has no chance of cashing. I'm on chalk. I'm playing OKC all the day.
I'm with you. I mean, Sabonis yesterday had 16 and 17, and nobody noticed because they lost anyway. Like, I just think it's a bad matchup for Sacramento. They played already this season. I think the Thunder won the first game by like 20 and change. I just don't know what the Kings are really supposed to do besides hope that certain people get hot. But they've played 2 times this season. The Thunder have won each meeting by at least 21 points. They've smacked this team. And it makes sense stylistically. You're wondering like what the Kings can do matchup-wise. And I'm going to ask you, what can they do matchup-wise? They don't guard the 3-point line.
And there's a chance Sabonis doesn't play. You know,
yeah,
Sabonis
he might not play because he was great yesterday, but we know the Thunder have
he's been dealing with that injury. What was the injury he had? I can't even remember what injury, but he's been dealing with some injury.
The point is, the Thunder have also been dealing with injuries to Chet, who might play in this game. They still have Hartenstein. They have 2 big guys they can throw at Sabonis if needed. And they also have the overall guard depth to keep DeRozan and other people in check.
And they might be getting J-Dub back today. Like,
it's such a bad matchup for Sacramento, though. Like, I don't know if Sacramento can capitalize on any potential weaknesses Oklahoma City has, because I think Oklahoma City matches up very well against this team. I'm going to ask you, like, what can the Kings exploit? I don't know.
You just gotta hope that DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are unconscious.
Yeah, and you throw a Dort on one of them, and you're just like, all right, we'll see what happens. It's just a bad matchup. So, yeah, give me the Thunder minus 9.5.
Yeah. Very, very chalk play. Taking Thunder all the way. Oh, whoa, wrong one. Shout out to Chalk Zone.
What was the free to last one? That was Jimmy Butler?
Nah, that was Martin Luther King.
No. Duh. Yeah, I recognize who it is. I mean, come on.
We probably
play that.
Man, there was multiple times that I feel like we dropped that.
You really thought that? I thought that quote was by Jimmy Butler. Come on,
I didn't. Nah, man, I'm sorry.
You're better than that. Come on, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I really didn't register what you said. I was just answering.
I was just trying to think of the last time we were, using that drop. I didn't know we had an MLK drop.
No, that one is definitely a minute ago, and I can't remember what it was. But it was
my guess was Jimmy Butler, because that makes a lot of sense.
No, like I think that was like last season, man. I think that's been sitting there for a whole season. I don't think I've used that. I don't think I've used that this season. I think I've used that. I think it was for MLK Day one year. I'm pretty sure it was for.
It could be. I have no idea, but yeah, that quote was not by Jimmy Butler. So there you go.
Nah, man, that's been sitting there for some years. I have not used that this season. So wow,
Right.
and it's crazy because I wouldn't have used it now. I just hit it on accident. I use that for Lonte because Lonte likes analytics.
I thought you were going to say because he wears glasses.
No. What? I wear glasses, Scott.
No, I know. I just thought that might have been why. Fine.
All right, man. Lock, dog, underdog. Go ahead.
All right. So for the lock on the show, I was going to do Orlando, but do I want to actually? I might do OKC, but I kind of wanted to see if Chet was going to play or not, but I actually do like the spot for OKC. I mean, I faded the Kings yesterday. It worked out pretty well. I think I'm going to do it. Give me the Thunder. I'll lay the 9.5 here. I think it's a really bad matchup. I said before, they faced off 2 times this season. Thunder won the first game in Sacramento in November by 21. They won the second meeting in OKC in February by 34. It's just such a bad matchup. I don't know what the Kings are supposed to do matching up against this team. We know Monk was on the sick report. He didn't play. He might not play again today. You're looking at the Kings using LaVine and DeRozan. They've not been very good. Defensively, they've been a mess. Looking at their numbers recently, the Kings have allowed at least 1-13 in a bunch of games in a row. They've scored less than 109 in 2 straight. We saw the Celtics with Tatum getting injured, still winning by 18 points. Thunder, though, have won 6 in a row because they're the Thunder. So, of course, they did beat the Clippers, beat the Hornets by 30+, beat the Sixers by 30+, Milwaukee by 16. They've been beating up on the teams they should beat up on. I think it's a bad matchup. So I'll go with the Thunder. And you said Jada might come back. So give me the Thunder minus 9.5 as my lock for this one. For the dog, I like the decent amount of actual dogs in the card today. The question is, what do I want to take for my actual play here? And you know what? I think I am going to make a case for a 1-10. I got to figure out which game I want to do, though, because there are a couple of games I think should be close. I think for this one, I'm going to go with the Knicks 1-10. I think the Knicks are going to win the game because I think that AD is not going to play. But I do think the Knicks have been messing around too much, and I think they can definitely let Dallas hang around. We like the over in this game. We think the Dallas team total over is a solid look. Give me the Knicks to find a way to win a close game at MSG. I'll take the Knicks 1-10 at +220.
Lock. Orlando minus 5.5. Charlotte sucks. Slightly concerned because we did used to roast. It was more of last season than this season, but we did used to roast Jamal Mosley and this Orlando team for being horrible on back-to-backs. But Charlotte really sucks, so I'm just going to trust this season. Orlando minus 5.5.
Just I was going to give that out too, but I already gave that on YouTube, so decided to use
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no. I agree. Don't do that. Dog. Miami first half.
Okay.
Golden State money line.
So 550 again?
Yeah.
Of course it is. It's a great price. It's such a good price.
Because this is exactly what happens. Miami gets up in the first half. This is competitive, and it looks like they could get the win. Golden State goes on a third quarter run, cuts the game, and then the fourth quarter is a single-digit game, and Miami doesn't win single-digit games in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I see 5-1 on FanDuel for that.
Yeah, easy. Take it. Was very, very close to making Houston 1-10 the dog. Ended up going with the Jimmy Day bet.
All right.
It made sense. All right, underdog. What are we doing?
So you want something with Butler?
I will never turn it down.
Okay. So let me just see what we have for options.
Let's see. We can go with all this stuff is kind of points, rebounds, and assists 34.5, 20.5 points. A little juice though.
Okay, you know what? You want to do that. He's at least 37 PRA in 4 straight.
Yeah.
And it covers basically everything.
Yep.
So that's fine.
Okay. Now we got the free square.
Yeah.
Now we just got to make bingo.
I'm in for Amon Thompson. I'll go with his RA in this one. He's at 12.5. He's been solid. He's at least 13 in 7 of the last 8 games he's played in.
So 13.5, a little spicy.
Okay. You want to go for it, or you want to find something else?
No, I still want to go. For it. Because it's funny you say that, because I was really looking at that bet for a while last night, and I didn't get it in. So.
We can do rebounds only if you want to do that instead. He's at least 9 rebounds in like 10 of the last 11.
Oh, no, but that's 0.9. I'd rather go for the spicy.
All right, let's go for the spicy.
That's good. And we think that's gonna be an over game, so plenty of assists to go around.
Okay. So that's 2.
And then we can close out with I think we should go Mobley.
That's fine.
Yeah. Because because if Garland's really not on, they're just gonna be giving the ball to Mobley the whole time trying to do something. And he's been good.
So you want to go 19.5 points because he's had at least 20 in 3 straight against Portland?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm glad you knew, because I already had it clicked.
That works for me.
I already had it clicked. All right. We got Evan Mobley higher, 19.5 points. We got Amon Thompson higher, 13.5 rebounds and assists. And we got Jimmy Butler higher, 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Add that in Underdog, and it's 6.24x. $100 gets $624 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBASGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up over here?
No, I just can't believe you thought that I thought that soundbite was
All
Jimmy
right,
Butler.
man. All right,
but
man. All right.
it's fine.
I'm never gonna live this down.
Really didn't know we had that soundbite in the first place. We got a lot of like hidden gems.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, because I was just adding them one day. Like these are years in the making. Where's the one with oh yeah, Kevin Hart one?
It don't matter. Be a man. When I come out this, you better say who you got and you better mean it. Let's go. D up. I got her. Let's go.
I don't think you've ever played that during the show my entire time being
No,
here.
because I had a thought. So there was when I put it in there, I had a thought of what I was gonna do with it, but then I forgot the thought and I never used it. This is the one I'm supposed to use when somebody is in a horrible shooting slump and then they finally break out of it.
Now that's how you're supposed to shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot.
Okay, so that I'm into.
Yeah,
we should actually use that one. That's pretty
good.
good.
That's got to be. I don't know why that hasn't been used more often. I just be forgetting about some of the.
And that was Will Smith, right?
Yeah, that was Will Smith.
That
voice. Yeah, we definitely got to use that one a lot more. That's
okay. Either way, the point is we got some stuff. We officially got the sweeps back, which is good. Yeah. Once again, looking forward to the card tonight.
All right. With that, that is it. I have nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of ending podcast. Just gonna like this. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating and review, and like the video on your way out, please. We're out of here.